We have breaking news as the Miami Heat have just made a shocking trade that nobody saw coming. And the real reason for this deal, why the Miami Heat decided to make this, has been revealed with multiple other players implicated in this trade and being affected by it. And also leading us to see that one member of the Miami Heat where there was a big question about if he'd be here next season, looks like he will be here because of this deal, and we're going to break all this down and dive right into it. But real quick, guys, if you are part of that 80% that is not subscribed to Heat Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily Miami Heat updates on trades, rumor reports, all free agency signings. There's two-way deals left to be made, and also everyday Miami Heat news you do not want to miss out on. But let's jump into the video, guys. There's a lot to talk about as the Miami Heat have gotten active today. As Pat Riley is up and moving, he is not asleep right now. A big trade has just been made by the Miami Heat, and it involves one of the key players over the last couple of seasons for the Heat. One of the many guys who got brought up as an absolute just Heat culture type of guy, came out of nowhere from the G League, and Haywood Highsmith now moves on. As it was revealed by Shams Charania just minutes ago that the Miami Heat have traded Haywood Highsmith and a 2032 second-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets for a protected 2026 second-round pick. Now, Highsmith last season put up 6.4 points per game, or 6.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists. He got around a steal per game and half a block. He's a very good defender, very good 3-and-D guy, shooting 38% from three last season and 44% on corner threes with 46% from the field. Highsmith is 28 years old, about to turn 29, so for a rebuilding Brooklyn Nets team, it looks like he's the type of guy who will get flipped pretty quickly as time goes on throughout this process, and there is a lot to consider when looking at this situation. I mean, Highsmith, he's been solid over the last 2 years for the Heat when it comes down to playoffs and all his stats there. Over the last 2 seasons, over the last 2 playoff runs that Highsmith has been on, he's averaged 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. He shot 44.7% from the field, and his three-point shooting did take a dip at 32%, though he's had his moments as well. He's been someone who's been reliable for the Heat for a while. Again, one of those guys who just came out of absolutely nowhere. You didn't know who he was, and all of a sudden he was out there doing work for the Heat. We knew that he was an important player on this team, and now he moves on to the Brooklyn Nets, where he definitely will be a trade target come the later part of this year and everything considering that. And I mean, we then look at a guy like Kasparas Yakonis' stats, and this is where things get interesting. The Heat drafted Yakonis 20th overall in this year's NBA draft in the first round, and Yakonis did start to show out in the 2K Summer League. He struggled a bit in the California Classic, but in his 3 games in the 2K Summer League, he really started to get things going. Overall, in the Summer League, he averaged 9.5 points and around 3 rebounds with 2.5 assists per game with 1.5 steals. His shooting numbers were not efficient at all, though again, he just really struggled in the California Classic. He got things going in the second half of Summer League, where he put up around 45% from the field and 35% from 3. So the numbers improved, and that's important to note here. I think Yakonis is someone who is definitely thought of when considering this trade. Considering that Yakonis is the new young guy on this team, he's 6'6" and can fill in at multiple positions. He could play the point guard spot. He's truly a bigger combo guard, but that means he can play either wing spot as well. We know Eric Spoelstra will move him around, try to find the position that works the best for Kasparas Yakonis, and he will be someone who's going to have a bigger role now that we see that Highsmith is gone. Obviously, one of the guys to mention as well with this is Norman Powell, but it's not like Norman Powell and Highsmith were going to be fighting for minutes. Powell is going to be a starter on this team, absolutely, and Highsmith was not, so there is that importance as well. They did bring in a new wing, but they also lost Duncan Robinson, so it was like, you know, it was a situation where Robinson was going to fight for minutes with Highsmith more, and another guy was going to fight for minutes as well in Simone Fontecchio, but we will get back to Fontecchio in a second. But real quick, we're going to go over the fact on why this trade did end up getting done. Now, it was mentioned by Brett Segel that by trading Haywood Highsmith, who is currently out indefinitely with a meniscus injury, the Heat move out of the luxury tax. The Heat, along with several teams, have always liked Highsmith's two-way production. He will be a key name to watch before the trade deadline. And on top of that, Ian Begley, he's a beat writer for the Knicks and the Nets, said the Nets say they've acquired forward Haywood Highsmith and Miami's 2032 second-round pick in exchange for Brooklyn's 2026 second-round pick, which is protected from 31 to 55. So in case you were wondering why this deal was done, it's very simple. It's the luxury tax. That's what it really comes down to at the end of the day, is Pat Riley and the Heat decided, you know what, we're going to get out of the luxury tax right now, and we can afford to lose Haywood Highsmith to do so. Now, obviously, it's one of those situations where there could have been an actual deal where Highsmith could have been involved in, where it feels like we could have gotten more, but it would have come with an extra contract that would have to be a whole second step. And that's my big issue with this trade is Highsmith, you could have netted something. You could have netted 2 second-round picks for him from someone else. I know the Nets were the only team with cap space, making things difficult, so you could have went to a different team and then been like, all right, let's try to get 2 seconds from this one team that wants Haywood Highsmith. We take back a contract that's a similar price, and then we move Highsmith to Brooklyn, the one team with cap space, and from there, we then do the same deal, and we could actually get another second-round pick out of it instead of basically a second-round pick that's not going to convey, unless the Atlanta Hawks, the initial owner of that pick, finish in the bottom 5 of the NBA draft, meaning they probably did damn well in the regular season or won the NBA Finals. And they might do really well in the regular season. They might be a 2 seed, and then, hey, might work out. But it would still be like the 58th overall pick, 57th overall pick in the NBA draft, which does mean that it's not going to be much value, if anything. But we know the Heat can absolutely draft in that second round, so there is that to be aware of as well. But also it implicates multiple players as well. I mean, as I mentioned, Yakonis is going to be implicated in this. He played 33 games in college and looked nice. That's why he got drafted in the first round. His shooting was definitely an issue, and he's not going to replace Highsmith's three-point production, but he is going to be somebody who can replace production in a general sense and be a younger guy. The Lithuanian native was very, very solid in his 1 year at Illinois before declaring for the draft, and because of that, the Heat do see a lot of potential there, considering he has guard skills and can be a wing as well. He's just a very versatile guy, so there is a lot to like about Kasparas Yakonis. So there is a lot to consider there, but it's not just Yakonis that this comes down to. When we look at the Heat's cap table, it's going to be as well just they're a team that's now in the middle area. They're still way over, but they're away from the first apron now. They're away from the second apron, and that's going to be huge to consider when trying to make moves for other players because they do have some other tradable guys and tradable contracts who now they get to sort of sell off. And some other young players. I mean, one of the young players that we should also discuss here is Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaquez's role got diminished after a very solid rookie season when he struggled in his sophomore year. He put up 8.6 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game, but did not shoot the same. I mean, he was only 31% from deep, 26 on corner threes, and shot 46% from the field. He didn't have the same level of production, and it did knock his minutes down, but now Jaquez has a chance to get more minutes considering that he goes in there. But also, there's been a lot of questions about Simone Fontecchio and if he's going to play with the Miami Heat or if he's going to leave the team. With Highsmith getting traded, it feels like Fontecchio will be staying around. Last year, he struggled mightily after a season before where he was phenomenal. I mean, he put up 6 points and 3 rebounds a game with 1 assist last year with the Detroit Pistons and a lot more limited minutes than he had the year prior in a mix between the Jazz and the Pistons. He shot 40% from the field and 33.5% from 3 and 28% on corner 3, so he definitely struggled to shoot the ball, which did lead to him losing a ton of minutes. But now Fontecchio has a chance to rebuild himself with the Miami Heat at 29 years old and be a valuable role player for this team if he wants to stick around and stay in the NBA. So it's a lot on Fontecchio right now to really get things going and get things right, and now he gets a bigger chance because Highsmith is not there, and this means the Heat definitely believe that, one, I mean, Fontecchio is sticking around, and 2, they think he could be a valuable player. So all good stuff there, all stuff to like when we consider everything as well. And I mean, you just look at all the guys mentioned, we're going to have to make that bigger. You think about all the guys who have been extension eligible. You see at the top of this, the guys who really matter more than anyone is Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins. Both of them are extension eligible. Hero does have 2 years left, so we can kind of wait a year on that, but it is still in our minds. And also Andrew Wiggins, who is in a similar boat. It's the same deal. He's eligible, so that's going to be on our minds as well. And then also you look at guys like Jaime Jaquez and Kel'el Ware, who eventually are going to be due. We'll get the Terry Rozier money off, but also Nikola Jovic. Like, there's guys to consider here in a lot of ways. And, I mean, Ethan Thompson will be a restricted free agent. So there's a lot to go over and a lot to be well aware of when it comes to the Heat cap table. And this move is a clear cap dump because they think they have other players in the same stratosphere who could totally pick up the slack from where it was left off. Guys, what do you think about this move? Was trading Highsmith worth getting out of the luxury tax? Do you think more moves are coming because of this and now that they're out of the luxury tax? So they're definitely, it feels like something else is going to come. They also got to replace that player. Who do you want to see Highsmith get replaced with? Who do you want to see the Heat go after? Let me know all that in the comments down below, and I will be sure to get back to you guys. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I will catch you on the next one.